What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Gear Focus Friday. As you guys know, I absolutely love talking about gear, and this Gear Focus Friday series is an absolute blast for us to put together. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what I use when I go out and do my freelancer gigs. This is going to be a What's in Your Gear Bag Freelancer edition.
No limits, no ceiling, no crown, no pressure gonna hold me down. No stop until I break every rule. No limits to what I can do. Nowhere is too far away.
So the funny thing about this first episode of the What's in Your Camera Bag series is I actually don't even use a camera bag, I use a camera case. I'm a big fan of the Pelican 1510 cases, and I use the TrekPax divider system on the inside of that case. The thing that I like about the 1510 combined with the TrekPax is I'm able to fit everything that I could ever possibly need for a gig inside one case that's able to fit in the overhead bin of an airplane. One of the great things about that TrekPax system is the fact that I can redesign it however I want just by pulling the pins out and moving the dividers around a little bit to kind of orient the things the way I want them to be, as well as keeping everything nice and safe. Alright, so enough about the actual bag itself, as that's not what you guys are here to see. You're here to see what's inside that bag. So the first piece of gear inside the camera case that I want to talk about is the main camera that I use for pretty much all of my freelance shoots. I recently switched over to the Canon EOS R system, and I have been loving it ever since. The autofocus on this camera is absolutely fantastic for anything that I would need to do with any kind of motion, plus the screen is big enough on the back that if I need to manual focus, I can do that as well. One of the other great things about the autofocus system on the EOS R is the touchscreen on the back actually has a tap to focus ability on it, so if I'm moving around and I know that I need to pull focus from one side of the screen to the other side, I can just tap the monitor on the back and it'll automatically pull focus for me. Another thing I like about the EOS R is it is a very light camera. It's a very small camera. I try to keep my camera kit as small and as minimal as humanly possible, as I don't really... Hey guys, giveaway Dan here. Real quick before Dan gets back from his coffee break. We're giving away a DJI Mavic 2 Zoom, so follow the link in the description to enter that contest. I gotta go, he's coming back. Something's not right here. Yeah, I'll worry about it later. Let's get back to the video. Alright, so enough about the EOS R. You guys have heard me talk plenty about that camera in several other videos, so I'm going to move on to the lenses that I use. I only usually take 2 lenses with me whenever I go to shoot. The first lens that I take is the Canon RF 35mm macro lens. This lens is not super expensive, which is really great because anybody can access it, and having that 1.8 aperture really helps to create that really good depth of field. So the other lens that I use is the video workhorse lens, which is the 24-105 f4 lens. I have the EF mount version of that lens as it was significantly cheaper when I went to go buy it, but I've also used the 24-105 f4 RF lens. They are both great pieces of glass, and they fit into pretty much anything that you could ever possibly need in video, which is why they're known as the video workhorse lenses. Alright, so now let's talk about my audio setup. I'm a big fan of using the lav mic whenever I am doing my freelance gigs, and for right now I am using the Rode Link system. This is a digital wireless system, and it's been working absolutely fantastically for me as I've been using it for the past 6 months. It's really, really easy to use. It's basically a one-button setup. You just power on both of the units and they connect together, and then you're ready to go. And for most of my shoots, I'm not using an external audio recorder. I just go directly into the audio input for my camera. Alright, so let's talk about storage. With the EOS R, obviously I am using the SD card slot on the camera, so I keep all of my SD cards in this nice little handy waterproof case. I got this off of Amazon for like 15 bucks, but on the inside you can see that it holds both the micro SD cards as well as the standard SD cards, and it's got this nice little rubber seal around it to keep everything nice and secure inside. I really recommend picking something like this up. There are a ton of different versions, but this helps keep all of your media safe and secure when it's inside your bag or your case. Now, another thing I like to keep with me at all times is an SSD drive. I'm a really big fan of the Samsung T5 drives. We use them for pretty much everything here at Gear Focus. These drives are super quick, and because they're SSDs, they're super reliable as well, so it keeps all my data nice and secure. There are also a few things that I keep in my case or my bag that I absolutely never leave home without. They're not true pieces of camera gear, but they are essential in my mind to keep your kit complete and to keep your kit running at its full capacity. So like I've mentioned in previous videos, I am a former Sony shooter. And because the weather sealing on the Sony bodies is absolutely horrendous, I've gotten in the habit of keeping one of these in my camera bag. This is a lens or sensor blower, and what this does is you squeeze it and it blows air out the nozzle. That way you can blow any dust or dirt off of your lens or your sensor. I do really suggest picking one of these up. They're super cheap, and they're really easy to keep in your bag as they do just squeeze down and you can fit them pretty much anywhere. And they also come apart as well. So you can just take them apart, squeeze it together, and put it in your camera bag or your case nice and easily. Keeping with the theme of keeping your gear clean, another thing that I keep with me at all times is a lens cleaning kit. This has some lens cleaning solution as well as a microfiber cloth in it to keep everything nice and clean. This is also great for cleaning off monitors or touchscreens or anything like that get fingerprints on them after using them all day. So one other piece of kit that I never leave my house without is the Aperture AL-M9 light. I actually keep 2 of these in my case at pretty much all times. These are fantastic because they have some magnetic diffusion that goes directly on top, and they come with a orange and a blue gel if you needed to warm up or cool down your lighting for whatever you need. I'm actually using one right now on the set as a kicker and a fill light right up here to my right, your left. Now before I let you go, I just want to mention that we have been working hard here at Gear Focus to improve our mobile experience for sellers. We've made several improvements to the seller dashboard to make listing your gear and managing your listings and your orders much easier when accessed on a mobile device. So check that out when you get a chance. We are also in the process of developing an entirely new web platform as well as iOS and Android apps to make buying and selling gear even easier on the go so we can continue to help feed your passion. So stay tuned for many improvements to the Gear Focus marketplace in 2020. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for me today. I'm going to go ahead and leave links in the description for everything that I talked about here today so that if you want to pick them up for yourself, you can do that by following those links. Now, if you have any questions on any of the gear that I talked about today, go ahead and leave them down in the comments down below. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as it really does help us out here on the channel. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm your host Dan, and I'll see you all next week.